I'm going to need your help in sorting this out. I'm trying to figure out what ethnic group in America has experienced the least amount of persecution and racism. Because we can already think, okay, yeah, well, Native Americans and African Americans, they've experienced a lot. And even a lot of people of Asian descent during the World War II, you know, with Japan and the Japanese Americans. I can think of things like that easily. But to go on the other side of the scale, well, who has experienced the least amount? You know, and it's easy to think, oh, well, white people have experienced the least amount of persecution. But see, that's problematic because as one of the things we've talked about on this channel, well, what constitutes as a white person, and not only what in modern day, but we have to ask 100 years ago, 70 years ago, what constituted as a white person. Because I have, there's a priest who watches my channel, a Greek priest, and he explained to me that his own father experienced persecution in Atlanta. They burned down his church building by white supremacists because he was Greek. Now, when I think of someone who's Greek American, I think of someone who is darker complected. Well, probably looks somewhat like me, right? But I would never think that person's not white, or that they would be treated with racism from other white people. So that's interesting to me. And despite the United States being quite a haven, and so many good things happen to Jewish people once they moved to America, at first, the Jewish people experienced persecution here too. But it doesn't, and they're white, right? But, okay, I see what you're saying, Nick. So, okay, there's white people that have experienced persecution, and yeah, compared to African and Native American and Japanese, okay, I get it. So there's somewhat of a scale. So, okay, Greek, Jewish, they're white, but still they're white people who faced, okay, I got you, Nick, I got you. But see, what's at the very end of that scale? You know, because Irish people have faced persecution in America. What is the sign that would say Irish need not apply for jobs in New York City when they were first coming over and all this stuff, right? And Italians, right? WAP, and there's all these like slurs that don't mean anything now, but they did at the time. So it's interesting because, and I just named groups of people who have a little bit darker complexion, but they're still white people. Greek, Jewish, Italian, right? Well, let's keep getting wider then. And I already even mentioned Irish. I mean, Irish, I think of like lighter skin and freckles. I know that's a stereotype, but still, the point is the fact that the stereotype exists shows you a perception of, if that's a stereotype that exists, then you'd think of all people, they wouldn't be persecuted because of where they came from, but they were. And I understand maybe it's less about race in that case and more about nation of origin. But still, I guess if I'm going to answer my own question, I'm going to say people who are of English descent. I'd say they have faced the least amount of persecution. Even now, I'm trying to think of English stereotypes that are offensive. And the only one that I've heard over the years is that people who are English have bad teeth. And like, I guess even like Austin Powers. I never saw those movies, but didn't he have like fake teeth or whatever? And like but it's like, that's it? Like, I do think in the same way certain people groups have definitely been discriminated against in America. There's some on the other end that just have virtually experienced none in comparison to even people in the middle. And if we're counting the middle to be Jewish people and Greek people, if that's what we're doing here, I don't know. But I just want to know, what group of people do you think have been the least discriminated against? I would say, WASPs. White Anglo-Saxon Protestants, but specifically if you're basically English, Welsh, to me, you're safe in that case. But I could be wrong. And what do I always say? I'm ignorant, but I'm open-minded. And the only way you can help me and educate me and make me a better person is to leave a comment. Vote in the comments. I'm curious what you have to say, and you know me. I'll probably take your comment and turn it into a video. But then you'll feel special.